150 years ago this month, President Abraham Lincoln was shot as he and his wife Mary watched a play at Ford's Theater in Washington. As his assassin John Wilkes Booth fled, Mr. Lincoln was carried to a house across the street from the theater, where he died the following morning. His death came just as he was leading the nation out of a long and bloody civil war that had led to the deaths of more than 620,000 soldiers. Saving the Union was one of the most remarkable achievements of his presidency, says Michelle Crowell, a historian at the Library of Congress.
In the hands of a lesser man, hands of a less resolute person, one who was less politically astute, it could have easily gone the other way. But he saw the United States as an experiment in democracy, that he was upholding what the Founding Fathers had started, and he didn't want that experiment in democracy to fail.
President Lincoln also helped end slavery in the United States. The Emancipation Proclamation that he issued on January 1, 1863, set African Americans on the path to freedom. Later that year, Mr. Lincoln gave his historic Gettysburg Address, 4 months after Union soldiers defeated Confederate forces in the most important battle of the Civil War.
When you read the Gettysburg Address and he says this is a government of the people, by the people, for the people, he meant that Lincoln was someone who wanted to extend rights for people, that he wanted the United States to really fulfill its democratic potential, to be a place that actually fulfilled the Declaration of Independence, all men created equal.
To mark the 150th anniversary of President Lincoln's assassination, museums and historic institutions all across the country are featuring special exhibits and performances. One of the most significant is at Ford's Theater compound. Here, objects are being presented together for the first time since that tragic evening. They include the small single-shot pistol that John Wilkes Booth used to shoot the president.
Its significance is that it changed the course of history. In one small moment, one of our greatest presidents was brought down.
Tracy Avant, curator of exhibitions, says many of Mr. Lincoln's personal possessions are also on display, including his signature top hat.
Well, it's a beautiful, iconic piece. Everyone thinks of Abraham Lincoln with the top hat. But what I love about it is it's got this beautiful band that he put on it to remember his son, Willie, who had died in 1862 of typhoid fever. It speaks to how deeply he felt that loss.
Another favorite for visitors, President Lincoln's eyeglasses.
The arm on it had broken off, so he just used a little piece of twine to tie it back together. To me, that just humanizes him so much.
While his life was cut short, Mr. Lincoln's legacy lives on as one of the greatest presidents in U.S. history. More books have been written about him than any other American president. His face appears on U.S. currency. Millions visit his memorial on the National Mall in Washington. As Americans observe the 150th anniversary of the death of their 16th president, many believe Abraham Lincoln's vision and those who came before him of a nation where all are created equal will one day be fully realized.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Julie Tabo, VOA News, Washington.